much do external forces really play a part in either pulling away from self-love or from the flip side, because we like to always say, oh, it's outside of us, right? Because then it's easier. It's not me, it's out there.
That's right.
So we flip it and we always allow that to be the case, or it's a distraction, right? So if I allow that external to be a distraction, but there is something to be said for like media always surrounding us and putting a reflection toward us, or schools, or, you know, social influences. From your perspective, what is the impact of that external to internal? And what advice would you give to kind of flip that script and not let that be what your direction is, the external to internal, but make it more the internal to the external?
Well, it's why I ask the question, Amber, the first question whenever I'm working with a person, what is it you want? And, you know, again, with Matt, it's like he's having this conflict and I should tell my wife, or or not, or whatever the conflict is. It's like, it doesn't matter any of that stuff until we say, what is it you want? And it inevitably will come down to, I want to appreciate myself. I want to honor that my calling is to do this. I want that, or I want that red Tesla. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like, I want to honor that I'm articulating, here's what I want. Okay. So first of all, wanting what you want, knowing, articulating, here's what I want. Number two, you want it enough that nothing else matters. When we get to a point where self-respect and self-integrity and alignment is the most important thing, then we begin to use, in terms of recovery process, we start to get sober. We start to notice where we go, I say I want this, but I just want to have my comfort food, or I just want to have that, or I just want a game, so we want to say what we want, and we want it enough that we can start the process. And we begin to let go of that stuff, whatever that stuff is, those conversations, or the way that we avoid, ignore, and distract. The addiction is to the avoiding, distracting, and ignoring. It's not the food, the substance, the gaming, the social. It's that we are trying to avoid something within ourselves, that scary place that we don't know how to do or be with. So the more that it's not until people say, here's what's important to me enough, then that they're willing to then step into that. Because the conflicting commitment is, I want what I want. This is the dilemma with transformation, is I want what I want, but I don't want to suffer. And I don't want to let go of what I've got. So people want a change in their marriage, but they're not willing to do anything different. I just want my husband to change, and then I get everything I want, and he's going to be happy too, because I'm going to be happy. Okay. But because we don't want to do the change element. But until we're clear about, I want this, and I want it enough, then the elements just start to change. And truly, even though it's difficult and scary and uncomfortable, you get that the unfolding brings you what you truly want. But you have to want it enough to begin to just to be able to say, hey, I want this enough. So for Matt to say, hey, I want this enough in my body and my soul and my spirit, I want it enough that I'm willing to sit with my own discomfort. I don't even have to talk to my wife. I just have to be with myself in this. That's the beginning. That's the beginning. And that was such an exquisite moment in our conversation, because it's like, it's not about his wife. His wife may never, ever know the process he's going through. And their marriage may just end up being on this unfolding, beautiful process without her even ever knowing. I don't know, but that's a possibility.
Yeah.
And we don't know until we align ourselves with, here's what I want enough.